Good day guys, my name is Elaine Reyes Pataganaw and I'm here today to discuss to you about the content of Module 2 and 3 that has a topic of History of Special Education and its legal basis. So, I have here a learning materials that I prepared for you guys so that you would understand what its content. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Let's see its content. So, Module 1 was about the history and evolution for special education needs. So, before we start to discuss about this module, I'll give you a brief information about its content. So, we will encounter here the different persons, years that has the connections to our history of special and inclusive education. So, let's get started. So first, we're going to see Jacob Rodriguez Pera. So, Jacob Rodriguez Pera, in the year 1715 to 1780, he introduced the idea that a person who were deaf could be taught to communicate. He was also developed an early form of sign language, provide an inspiration and encouragement for the work of Etard and Sitchin. Also, we're going to encounter here Jean-Marc Gaspard Etard. So, in year 1775 to 1838, he was also known as the father of special education and the person who recognized the importance of sensory stimulation. Next was Thomas Galwadet in 1787 to 1851. He taught that children with hearing impairment to communicate via sign and symbols. So, Thomas Galwadet also he established the first institution for individuals with deafness in United States. And the next was Edward Sitchin. He designed instructional programs for children. He's also a contemporary thought to be incapable of learning. He also believed in the importance of sensory motor activities as an aid to learning. And the next one was Louise Braille. In 1809 to 1852, he developed a tactile system of reading, writing for people who were blind. And then the next one was Francis Gallon in 1822 to 1911. He believed that genius solely the result of heredity and those with superior abilities are born, not made. And the next was Alfred Binet, 1857 to 1911. He authored the first development scale capable of quantifying the intelligence. Next was Louise Thurman in 1877 to 1956. He developed the notion of intelligence quotient, or also known as IQ. He was also the famous for lifelong study of gifted individuals. He also credited credited as being the grandfather of gifted education. So, let's move on to the important timeline of events. So, before we discuss the important timeline of events, so, bibigyan ko muna kayo ng konting summarization about dun sa mga persons na nabanggit. So, yung mga persons na nabanggit dun sa unahan was sila yung mga important persons sa history natin, history ng special education na nagbigay ng tulong or nagbigay ng chance para sa ating mga may special abilities na mga bata or na mga tao para mabigyan sila ng opportunity para makilala, makita yung talento nila dito sa community natin, para magkaroon sila ng space sa community natin, which is binigyan toon nila yung mga special child natin or special persons natin, yung may mga special abilities, binigyan nila ito ng opportunity para makapag-aral, opportunity para makita yung knowledge nila, ability nila, ayun. So, sa madaling salita, sila yung tumulong sa mga special persons natin or sa mga child with disabilities natin para mapansin ng komunidad or makita ng komunidad yung talent din na meron sila, hindi lang yung mga tao na hindi disabled. Bale, sa madaling salita, sila yung mga tao na nagbigay ng karangalan sa mga person with disabilities dahil pinansin nila ito at binigyan ng pagpapahalaga. So, ayun. So, now, let's move on to the important timeline of events. So, dito, itong mga years na to, may mga important events na naganap sa bawat years na yan, pero hindi na natin iisa-isahin kasi sobrang dami nila and sobrang tagal natin matatapos. So, ang summarization ko lang dito sa important timelines of events, kaya siya tinawag na important timelines of events kasi sa bawat year na to, madaming mga naganap, madaming mga naganap na events which is na nagbigay daan sa ating mga special child or special person with disabilities na nagbigay daan para sila ay makapag-aral, matuto, nabigyan ng oportunidad at magkaroon ng puwang dito sa komunidad natin. So, dito din sa sa mga years na to, merong mga iba't ibang persons na nag-grow, nag-glow, kumbaga sila yung nagbigay daan para sa mga person with disability or para sa mga special education. Sila yung may mga persons dito na tumulong para mabuo yung mga organizations para sa ating mga special child or para sa mga special with disabilities natin para meron din silang opportunity para makapag-aral, opportunity para makilala sa community, and opportunity para mapatunayan nila sa sarili nila na hindi porket meron silang disabilities is wala na silang karapatang mag-aral at wala na silang puwang dito sa komunidad natin. So, yung mga years na to, mahalaga kasi dito naganap yung mga important events para sa ating mga persons with disabilities or mga special persons natin. So, next was dito, year-end achievements milestones. So, dito, ito yung timeline of special education needs in the Philippines. So, ito yung year. In year 1902, ito din yung achievements. So, sa year 1902, the achievements and milestone was Mr. Fred Atkinson proposed that children who's deaf and blind should be enrolled. And then in 1907, the special education programs was formally started in the Philippines, and so on and so on. So, ayun, in summarization, eto din sila yung makikita natin dito, yung mga achievements and milestone sa bawat year na nandito. Mga achievements and milestone ng mga person na nagbigay ng karangalan para sa ating mga special persons or sa mga special with this person with disability natin. So, eto, nabigyan sila ng karangalan or achievements nila dahil sa napakita sila ng pagmamalasakit sa mga person with disabilities. And then, tumulong sila para makilala sila sa komunidad. So, ayun. So, next. Which is the legal basis for special and inclusive education. So, yung content ng module 2 was about international laws and convention about the rights of the child with person or the person with disabilities. So, ang laman nito is yung about sa rights ng mga person with disabilities. So, let's get started. We have here the UN 1989 Convention on the Rights of the Child. And then, we have the right to special education and treatment when a child is physically or mentally handicapped. And then, we have here the Article 23, Article 3, which is the World Declaration of Education for All. And then in 1994, Salamanca Statement, which is the education system should be designed and educational program and implemented to meet these diversities among children. And then next is the Individuals with Disabilities Education and Act or idea. Next was the Philippine laws constitution basis. So, ito yung mga laws sa Pilipinas na kung saan para sa mga persons with disabilities natin or sa mga child with disabilities na mga nag-aaral. Tapos, meron tayong act para sa kanila, which is the first is the Commonwealth Act number 3203. And then the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 16. And then we have the RA 9442, the Magna Carta for Disabled Person. And then the RA 10533, Enchanted Basic Education Act of 2013, which is the Key to 12 law. And then the PB 603 of the 1975, and the Child Youth Welfare Code. The PD 1509, creating the National Commission Concerning Disabled Person. And then the BP 232, Educational Act 1982. And then the BP 344, an act to enhance the mobility of disabled person. So, that's all, guys. So, in summarization of the module 2, which is kailangan natin na magkaroon ng mga laws para sa mga person with disabilities natin, para kapag nag-aral sila, meron din silang karapatan, meron silang pansariling karapatan, which is yung hindi sila naagrabyado, hindi sila nabubulis dahil lang sa kalagayan nila. So, iniiwasan natin yung mangyari para yung mga bata or yung mga child natin na may disabilities, hindi sila matrauma or hindi na sila mahiyang pumasok sa school. Kapag pumasok man sila, kapag may mga nambubuli sa kanila. So, dapat may laws tayo para dyan, para maiwasan yung mga ganyang pangyayari. So, ayun. Dapat sa komunidad natin, hindi lang dahil may kapansanan sila, hindi na natin sila ititreat na parang equal dito sa komunidad natin, which is dapat itreat din natin sila na kagaya natin. Hindi natin iparamdam sa kanila na may kakulangan para sa kanila. So, dapat pantay-pantay tayo dito sa komunidad natin, which is pati sa pag-aaral. So, ayun lang, guys. Ayun lang yung laman ng Module 1 and Module 2 natin about special education. So, ayun, sana may natutunan kayo. So, that's all for today. Again, I'm Elena Reyes, Pataganao. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Bye!